So delicious. Doritos nacho cheese. So I have about 2 pounds of ground beef. I have 1 onion cut up and 2 cloves of garlic chopped. We have our cheesy sauce, gourmet nacho. After our cheese sauce, we need our spices, garlic, salt, some steak sauce, some Creole, some Cajun seasoning, some cayenne pepper, whatever else you have in your pantry you want to use, your favorite spices. I also like to throw in this like hot green chili tomato mix because it makes it a little bit more like chili cheese sauce. I also like to add a little bit of green chili. And I also like to add some jalapenos because you can't have nachos without the cheese and the jalapenos. Let's turn our stove on and start cooking. I'm going to turn it on to high because I like to cook my ground beef on high. So I'm going to let this get a little bit hot, and I'm going to throw this on my hot pot. And then we're going to throw our ground beef into it. It's not as hot as I want, but it's okay. So you want to hear it sizzle. Using my new camera, I hope it's still... Oh wait, I forgot to push a button. I think that's better. Alright, so we're going to mix our meat into our pan here just by chopping it down to one even layer. And we are going to add our seasonings to the top of this. So let's get our... We can leave that right there. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Let's also put in our onion and our garlic. And I kind of like to put it in the middle so it gets sauteed very well. Let's see. Alright, so throw your onion and your garlic in the hot spot of your stove. And we're going to let that cook in with our meat. And we're going to add our spices to the whole thing. I just like a little bit of cayenne. Now you can hear it sizzle. I love that sound. Here is some cayenne. And I usually just cover the top with the cayenne. So here we go. And then, wrong side. They're over here. I really love garlic salt. I think it gives it a nice good flavor without over salting it. And garlic salt, cayenne, some Creole. I like my meat really flavored, especially when we're going to make nachos. So don't go shy on your spices. Unless you're very sensitive to spices, then only use whatever you want. But basically, we got our onions and our garlic sauteing in our pan with our ground beef. I'm just going to kind of keep it in the middle here so it can kind of cook faster than the ground beef. But it's all going to mix in and cook together, so I'm not too worried about that. I just want to make sure my onions get caramelized. So we're going to leave them in the hot spot. I hope you've smashed my like, my bell, and my subscribe for my algorithm. I have not yet worn this outfit in a try-on haul. So I will, to be announced, I don't know which try-on haul. I got to find something else to go with it. I'm going to kind of work my meat in to the center. And it's looking delicious. If you just kind of get it scraped off the bottom of the pan, the juices from the meat won't stick so bad. And we're probably going to have to season it a little bit more. I usually season it twice, once on each side. So season it, flip, stir, flip, and then we'll season it again on top. And this is already smelling really good. We have to add some more stuff to this, and it's going to take a second to keep cooking because we want those onions cooked down into that meat. So, oh, we forgot some of this. We'll put this one on this side of our seasonings. And we'll just let that sit for a minute though, because we need our cutting board. I'm going to just de-seed these jalapenos peppers and hold on, wardrobe check. I really don't want the extra moisture in here. I'm going to try to cook it out. And usually it will when you have a big enough pan to where your meat's not too thick. If your meat's too thick, it really just gets more like boiled. And we really don't want boiled meat because it's a little bit tougher than sauteed meat. I'm going to let that just cook out for a second. Kind of just move my meat away from the hot part of the, pan. And we'll let that cook for a minute. I'm going to throw some jalapenos in there. Cut up your jalapenos. Hopefully I'm not too... Oh, somebody's watching. I need to get glasses, you guys. I can't really see. But I hope you guys are having a wonderful Cinco de Mayo. And I hope you're having nachos. Any kind of nachos. You could fry up some french fries and put this on top of french fries too. You can just use nacho chips or any kind of chips that you want. So I'm just going to cut the jalapenos. And to kind of, I want these a little bit like bite-sized though. Because I want you to be able to like taste it in the meat. I don't know what that little piece is, so we're just going to. So my pieces are going to be more like bite-sized, like jalapeno bite-sized. That's about a jalapeno bite size. And I'm going to toss them on top. Well, actually, I should drain this first. And that requires a strainer. So I'm just going to take this meat, pour it over my strainer in my sink, and get rid of this extra fluid that you see built up there. I'm going to need 2 hands for this one. So the majority of the moisture is out of the pan. And then I'm just going to make a mess and try to give that a good shake. Throw the rest of my meat back in there without the juice. And that's the sizzle we want to hear because it means it's cooking. It's going to be golden brown. It's going to give it color, and we want the color because it's going to have the flavor. So let's go ahead and add just a little bit more seasoning to this. Just a little bit more garlic salt. And we're going to add some green chili. And there's not much left in here, so I'm just going to put what I do have left in here, which is about a half a cup. But you could go wild with this. You could put a whole jar in. I love this stuff. It definitely adds some green chili flavor to your nacho cheese sauce. So we have that. We're cutting up some jalapenos real quick. Let's get our tomatoes in here. This will add moisture, so make sure you like cut out, I use the lid to drain out all the excess juice. I'm in a hurry to cook because I'm hungry. Alright, so I just drained all the juices out, and I'm just going to pour in the tomatoes and the chilies themselves. And I like this one because it's hot flavored. So it's going to add more spice dimension to our sauce here. Let's get a few more jalapenos. These are nice because I don't see any seeds in them. I really don't like the jalapenos with seeds because they're kind of hard to eat. Oh, they do. They have a few. So I cut the seeds out because it really messes with your consistency. So we're going to get rid of that. And we are going to just put a few chops in these. And we're going to put these on. So the tomatoes will help get all that flavor right back into the pot. This is smelling so good. I hope you guys are trying this at home. Or at least going to eat something very delicious. You can do a lot with this meat mixture. I was going to lift it up and show you. It's, you could turn this into burritos, tacos, quesadillas. You can put this anywhere. And we are going to put it with cheese and chips. So, let me just add the last ingredient before the cheese is our jalapenos. And these just really need to get hot. They don't need to really cook. They just need to get the same temperature as all the rest of the food that we're putting in here. And I'm not too sure how spicy these jalapenos are, but they got a little bite in there. When peppers are really hot, you can kind of taste them before you actually taste them. So, it's my almost done. And the one thing I forgot was how to heat up my cheese. So, let's see. I usually add as much jalapenos as covers, like evenly mixes in to the meat combo. I like a few, I like at least one piece of jalapeno in each bite. So I don't see quite enough green in here. So I'm going to add a little bit more green before we overcook it. And I want it to get a little bit more color to it, a little more caramelized. Don't rub your eyes after you touch jalapeno peppers. I know some people like to use gloves. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Weekend, I guess. It's not quite the 5th. Alright. So, I've almost got all of my jalapenos in here. We got our green chili in here. We got our tomatoes in here. And we got our onions. We're getting a nice caramelization. Give it a few more minutes and it should be good. And then I'm going to melt my cheese on top. Alright. So I'm probably going to turn this off in just a second when it's nice and cooked down just like that. Ooh, I got some jalapeno in my nose. Alright. So this is about the end of our meat process. I'm going to turn that part of the stove off. We got our chips right here. Now all we need to do is warm up our cheese. We got our meat and our chips. And let's get rid of this because it's spicy. And I'm going to keep stirring this just a little bit because I want some of that flavor to keep burning on the bottom. Not necessarily burning, but what do you call it? Caramelizing. Okay, so we can put that to the side. And we will get our DORITOs. Too tempting. I'm going to take this off the heat. And I'm going to give me another pan that I can put my cheese in. The depths of my pot cabinets. Alright, so here's our pot for the cheese. That's still hot. I'm going to pop the top, get a spoon, and we're going to just scoop this into our pan and get all in there. Normally, I would mix the cheese directly into my meat mixture and then mix it together and make a nice creamy, mixy, gooey, cheesy topping sauce. But I actually want it to kind of look a little bit prettier, so I'm going to put the chips on my plate. I'm going to put my beautiful ground beef mixture on top, and then I'm going to drizzle my hot cheese sauce on top of that to see how pretty it can look. And it'll still taste as good too. So this is always good for leftovers. If you could also cook it in a crock pot. And let's do 2 cans. I like extra cheesy. Let's see. And now we can stir this into our hot pan. You don't want to overheat your cheese sauce because it will like burn to the bottom or burn your pan. So just put it over low heat. I don't think it's quite, I think it might be a little too low. So let me turn it on for just a second. As soon as you start to see it bubble, that's warm enough. You can turn it off and then just keep stirring it for a few seconds. So we're going to wait for this to bubble. Can you see? I kind of covered the stove. Don't forget to smash my like, my bell, and my subscribe so I can keep... Oh, and leave me in a comment letting me know what you want to see me cook next. Because I like cooking everything. So we're going to just stir our cheese sauce until it starts to bubble. And... let's see. It is looking a little lumpy still. It needs to be a little bit more creamy so we could drizzle it on top. And we need a plate. We gotta get a plate. I was so prepared tonight. Alright, so we're going to put some of our chips on our plate. And we're gonna make this layers because that's how the best ones end up soggy on the bottom and crunchy in other places. So we're going to, is this warming up? Not yet. My little husky puppy wants to play. Or is playing, I should say. Alright. So I guess everybody likes to get a little cheesy on Cinco de Mayo. And cheese is so delicious. Alright. So we're going to drizzle a little bit on top. Just a little bit on top like so. That's layer one. Then we're going to add a little bit of meat right on top. Like that. Like that. So far, we've got this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful steamy. Oh, I want to eat it already. Okay, what was I doing? Making sure I don't burn my cheese sauce. Because I was trying to get it a little bit more, see how like I want to even swirl on my plate. Because we already kind of got it a little messy. Alright. Here we are waiting for our cheese sauce. I thought the pan might have been a little hotter, but apparently not. We're waiting for the main course. The cheese. Alright. Bubbles. Nope, no bubbles yet. It's still cold. Still cold as ice. An ice drink does sound really good right now. Like a strawberry lemonade with ice. Or strawberry lemonade tea. That would be even better. We'll have to make that one night. Alright. I'm so hungry I can't even talk anymore. Alright, look, I see a bubble. I think it's almost there. Yep, if you look really close, it starts to explode on you. So here we go. And it's not quite, let's see if I can get a good drizzle without, there we go. Ooh. Alright, but we needed to put more chips first. Alright, more chips. More chips. Chips, meat, cheese. Chips, meat, cheese. So we're gonna put a whole bunch more chips on here. Alright. Okay, so chips. I hope you're enjoying the show. And, oh yeah, I should probably turn this off. Okay. Alright, so we got chips. A little bit of cheese. Let's do cheese in between each layer. Because who doesn't love cheese? There we go. We're going to turn this into our work of art. Oh. Now we have the ground beef. A nice big pile on top. And more cheese. And more cheese. And more cheese. Alright, let's do another layer. Let's do one more layer. Alright, so we got our unburned cheese warmed up. We got our meat warmed up. We got it smoking off the plate. It's beautiful. Got our chips on top. And we're going to do a few more just to finish this beautiful triple decker nacho cheese sauce. Nacho cheese, my cheese. That was so corny. I'm sorry. Alright, so let's see if I can get the meat. Alright. Meat. Get some jalapenos on there. Get them right on top. Right on top. And then we're going to drizzle. Yeah. And there's a little glob right there, but that's okay. I think we'll make it okay. And there we go. Okay. I'm very satisfied with my plate, except for this bite doesn't go. I think it fell over a little bit. You gotta check this out. Oh yeah. So delicious. Super ooey gooey. Super ooey gooey. This is so delicious. That's why it's already almost gone. It doesn't matter if you mix the cheese sauce with the meat or leave it separate and pile it on. All the flavors are very spicy, very cheesy, very substantial, very healthy, minus the chips and the cheese. Have a wonderful Cinco de Mayo.